And we would like to take attendance by the Slido poll. If you can just go to the QR code and then just enter your information, we can get your attendance recorded here. Just your name and who you're affiliated with would be great. Thank you. And I'm Barb Brumleby, Community Health Specialist at Chestnut Health Systems, working on the McLean County ROSC. And I'm here with my coworkers, Kat Hayes and Carrie Knapp. And just really want to thank you for taking the time to come, and we'll get your attendance going and we will get moving here on our meeting. Also, we'd like to welcome any new council members. So if this is your first time, if you're a new council member, if you'd like to introduce yourself, you can put in chat whether you'd like to put your name, position, agency, if you'd just like to come off mute and let us get to know you here a little bit. So if anyone's new, just go ahead and go off on mute and you can introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Jeff Ermentrout from CASA of McLean County, one of the new supervisors over here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
I'm Sally Jefferson. I'm part of the Sangamon County ROSC Recovering Action Committee. Also the director of the RCO for our county.
Awesome. Thank you, Sally, for being here.
We'll go back to this as people are introducing themselves, and you guys can continue to record attendance.
And I just seen a chat, Nadine Corey, MCHD. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, are we ready to move forward? And I'm going to go ahead and give it over to my coworker, Kat Hayes.
Hey guys, I'm Kat Hayes. I'm the recovery specialist for the McLean County ROSC. We were going to have Morgan Hartrick from the Center for Human Services present today, but unfortunately she was having a family issue. So we're going to go ahead and move right along into our second presenter, integrity counseling. And I'm going to go ahead and share screen sharing capabilities real quick. Don, whenever you're ready, you should be able to take it away.
Okay, we'll see how smart I am. Let's see here. Okay, can you see my presentation?
We sure can. Can everybody else?
Yes.
Life is good. Thank you all for the opportunity to present today. I'm Don Mahana. I'm one of the co-founders of Integrity Counseling, and we just celebrated our 10th anniversary on the 1st of April. So my goal today is to share a little bit about our history and a little bit about our process, and then be available to answer any questions you may have. Apologize if I sound a little under the weather. I am. So we'll go on from there. So basically, Luella and I founded Integrity Counseling back in 2014. As of today, we are still both full-time volunteers. Luella is the counseling half, and I do the business side. So basically, I'm a retired Caterpillar manager. I retired in December of 2015, essentially to work full-time with Luella on This Is a Passion. And we've done it as a partnership and have had quite a journey along the way, trying to provide counseling, education, and outreach to the community. Why did we do this? Well, many years ago, those of you who may know Mike Emery was the sheriff of McLean County a few years ago. And actually, Mike and Becky raised their kids next door to us in the Carriage Hills subdivision many years ago. And so we knew Mike, and we saw Mike on the news talking about how mental health had become a growing issue for the police. And then the county was talking about what to do about it and how to make changes. And at the time, Luella was a volunteer counselor at Home Sweet Home Ministries. and was had it been involved in working with the homeless and near homeless, and saw the gaps that existed for people who were on the essentially the bottom end of the spectrum. And we said, well, what can be done? Why isn't somebody doing something? And it turned out it was us. So in 2014, we started Integrity essentially with Luella and a business card. We rented half of a small space in the same building that we're in today at 502 South Morris. And within a few days, Luella had another volunteer working with her. And then within a few weeks, we had several more. And then in 2018, we moved from Suite B to Suite D to double the size of our space because our patient volume had grown that much. And we have been at it ever since. So why Integrity? Well, as you all know, we've been working as a community to have processes and efforts towards trying to address behavioral health and access to care. And we all know that the community health improvement plan priorities, number 1 and number 2, are access to care and behavioral health. That's the very reason why Integrity exists. So we're geared towards trying to serve the uninsured and the underinsured. And about 70% of the people we serve are at 70% are at 185% of federal poverty or less. And the rest are people who are struggling with challenges of trying to afford counseling in an environment that's very difficult today. Our vision has been for many years stigma-free mental health support for all. And so we try to do our part in trying to realize that within our community. So as I said, our purpose is counseling, education, and outreach. That's our triad. So we do counseling as our primary activity. We also do groups and classes, and then we go out in the community and try to raise awareness of behavioral health and do events and other activities to try to make people more aware of the challenge of behavioral health, especially for those who have fewer resources. Our model actually is a pay-as-you-can model. We've done that since the very beginning. The goal there is that we don't want financial issues to be a barrier to access to care, and we've been consistent on that. About half of our clients contribute something, and the average is about $10 per client service hour over the total, which means that some people are giving us what would have been a deductible. Some people are, if they could afford it in the long term, and some people are giving us change when they can. And it's been the way it's worked since the very beginning. We are funded by donations, client contributions, and grants. We've been very, very proud to have been a John M. Scott grant recipient for a number of years. And that's been very helpful to us. About 20% of our operating costs comes from client contributions, and the rest comes from donations from individuals and groups and the grant opportunities we've been able to secure. We are largely a volunteer organization. At the present moment, we have about 35 people doing direct services, all as part-time people. Many of them only doing 1 or 2 clients in the evenings when they're away from work. And we have about 40 people who volunteer to make the office work. Most of those are front desk volunteers. And then that includes our board and fundraising committees. So last year, we had a little over 100 people involved in Integrity in one way or another. So it's truly a community organization in that regard. We do have some paid staff. We have 4 people that work with us. Matt Porzel is a LCPC and has been in a number of agencies around town, but we're very proud to have Matt as a part of our team. Kathleen Craven is our program coordinator, so she works with the volunteers to try to make the front desk work and run processes that try to help us support our fundraising activities and support our board. Kathy Case is retired from a long career at the Baby Fold. And Kathy does a lot of our clinical supervision, as well as helps provide clinical coverage, as does Matt. Matt provides clinical coverage. And then Vernice Prince, you may know, but Vernice also runs a nonprofit herself, Cruising Out of Poverty Services, but Bernice works part-time with us. Matt and Vernice are part of our efforts with the Boys and Girls Club. Integrity actually provides, this year, if we continue to follow our process, we'll provide about 1,500 hours of on-site services at the Boys and Girls Clubs. We're doing that with Matt and Vernice and volunteers and interns. And our goal there is if you look at the Boys and Girls Club, the client population of the Boys and Girls Club are many of the same kinds of people that would have come to Integrity for services anyway. And we believe that by trying to work with families and work with the Boys and Girls Club, trying to address and counter ACEs and give kids an opportunity to learn about behavioral health and the importance of that in their lives, and break down some barriers to accessing services as individuals and as families. So that's kind of the process that's there. And then Integrity is all about trying to create an environment of welcome. So we work hard trying to make our space a space that people would like to be at. When you walk into the door, you'll be offered a cup of coffee or a bottle of water. And then we try to make these spaces welcoming and inviting. If you in the upper right-hand corner, those two pictures there are our conference center. We have a space adjacent to our office that we use for group sessions. And we also use it for some individual clients who might need to have a space where they can be loud. And it also allows us then to hold classes. We can seat about 15 to 18 people in a class. And that allows us to do some other things that can make a difference. Just for fun, the little picture there of the dollhouse, that is a friend of ours who donated us her childhood dollhouse. That is about 70 years old and was made by her father. And I can't count how many children have played with the dollhouse over the years as just a part of being a welcoming space. So what have we done in the last 10 years? Well, we provided services to over 2,000 people for counseling. That does not count the services that we provided in groups and classes. We've done groups, classes, and outreach events, many of them. We have had hundreds of volunteers over the years, counselors, front desk volunteers, class leaders, clinical supervision. We also have a person who works with us who is a retired special education teacher, and she helps us with bringing parent education. She tries to help parents think differently about discipline and about family communication. And so we see kind of a holistic model within our environment, try to provide that. And then, of course, the office support volunteers. Over the years, we've had lots of collaborations with partner agencies and cross referrals from many of the agencies that are represented on this call today. One of the things that we didn't realize we'd have the opportunity to do that we've done quite a bit of is impacting the pipeline of professionals. We see a fair number of both bachelor's and master's degree interns, and lots of interns have gone through our system and gone on to become behavioral health professionals in our community and beyond. As a matter of fact, Matt Porzell was one of our interns. He was a Bradley University intern, went out in the community for a while and came back to us as an employee. And it's kind of fun to look on the roster of some of the agencies around town and see people who've had a past relationship with Integrity in one of those positions. In addition to interns, we also provide opportunities for people to work in our environment who may be working a job that doesn't give them the opportunity to do counseling, but they have the education that would allow them to do that. So we provide clinical supervision for all unlicensed people and all clinically unlicensed people. And that allows people to build skills and collect hours towards their own licensure. And we've done a lot of that over the years as well. So our counseling agency from an insurance standpoint looks like a combination of a human services organization and a counseling agency. And we extend our liability coverage to cover all those people who volunteer with us. So how does the process work for people to engage Integrity? Well, we basically use a self-referral process. We ask people to call us, and then we'll take some information from them. If we have capacity, our operating capacity is right at about 200 active clients as we're currently configured. So we try to maintain about that level of engagement. It floats up and down depending on the number of interns that are active at a given time or the number of volunteers that come to work with us. Physically, we have the capacity to serve more people, but from a human resources standpoint, we're at about 200 as active clients. So if we have capacity, we'll ask people to answer some screening questions for us to make sure we're serving the right people, and then put them into our system and send them forms electronically in a welcome email. Once they complete their forms, we schedule an intake appointment, and then we use that intake appointment as an opportunity to understand what their issues are, go over what they provided us in their forms, and then understand their case and what we can do to help them. And then that person then is matched with a counselor based on the counselor's skills and availability, because everybody has different availability. So sometimes it works our way through that. Luella does the majority of the triage of new clients to try to match them with counselors, and has done that for the past 10 years. We do both in-person and telehealth, but we tend to reserve telehealth for people for whom that's therapeutically appropriate. We tend to favor in-person appointments if we can make that happen. We serve minors, adults, couples, and families as our resources allow. That's a very, very quick overview of what we do and how we do it. And want to just thank you for the opportunity to come and chat with you a little bit. And are there any questions that I could answer for you? We're always looking for new volunteers. We're looking for volunteers to serve at our front desk. We could always use more people to help us do that. And our volume of counseling is driven by the number of volunteers that we have. So people who have the spare time to volunteer at Integrity, we'd welcome you to do that.
Hey, Dawn.
Oh,
Since it's just to touch on that, since April is National Volunteer Month, what are some of the other opportunities for volunteering? What could people potentially do?
Well, we are working to build up our resources to do fundraising. So there are opportunities to support us in fundraising. We do have some data entry work that could be done that would be helpful to us to help us get our files in better condition and to get client data entered into spreadsheets. So that would be a second opportunity. Of course, I already mentioned the front desk. Front desk is typically a 2-hour shift at least once a week. And we'll always be welcome people to come and do more than that. That basically is the front desk. So you're welcoming people to Integrity, scheduling appointments, and taking payments as they're able to do so. So that's the majority of the opportunities. That's what we've got going on.
Okay, I wasn't sure who had their hand raised first. Was it Corey or Emily?
Emily can go.
Okay, thanks, Corey.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Hi, Don. Thanks for being here. Always happy to see you. And I'm sorry, I think you may have already answered this question and maybe I missed it, but I'll just ask again. Can you speak more on maybe the average wait for folks on your wait list to receive service?
Well, typically what we do is our average wait is usually a couple of weeks for an intake appointment and a couple of weeks after the intake appointment to get scheduled with a counselor. Usually we go in that range of 2 to 4 weeks from beginning a process to active. It depends, again, on our resource availability and where we are in the journey. We're at that stage now where we're about ready to end internships. So our wait time will stretch a little bit while we're waiting for new interns to come online. When the interns come online, it'll shorten again. So what we tell people to do is to call us. And then if we think that it's appropriate to take them into our system, it'll usually be that week to 10 days for an intake appointment, and then little time after that to get them started with the counseling.
Okay. And then follow-up question, obviously with this, the nature of your services, I imagine folks don't tend to be with you long-term. What type of timeline are you looking at in terms of like terminating that relationship?
We actually have clients who've been with us for 5 years or more.
Amazing. That's awesome.
We do long-term relationships and brief services, so it all depends. We obviously find that the biggest challenge in the population that we serve is getting people to hang in to a counseling relationship, to last through. We want to see them get at least 5 to 6 appointments. Sometimes that's a challenge. And because of the way that we operate, we have actually seen people over the years start and fail a couple of times before they've made it through long enough to get through a therapeutic relationship. And we are obviously a place of second chances within limitations, and we've done that many times.
Thank you.
This is Corey. First of all, I'm just so impressed by the commitment and the action that you have made happen for 10 full years. That's just amazing, how you're doing this work. So my question was about the wait list too, but since you answered that very well, my question is, what percentage of your clients are youth? And is that something, I mean, do you see that as, I mean, do you have a certain age population that you're more likely to serve or feel more qualified to serve? Or so I guess I'm just kind of looking at just the whole thing about youth and youth supports.
Well, Corey, actually, that's a very interesting question. And basically, our ability to serve youth depends on our volunteer mix at the time. We actually have had a few volunteers recently who have had past history as youth counselors. And so we've been able to add a little bit more to our services for that. We typically have the minors talk to Luella directly. Minors and parents talk to Luella directly so that we can listen a little better rather than just go straight through the intake process. And we have served children down into under 10. We've done that, and we're doing that today. And I would say the majority of our clients are probably between 20 and 40, 45, but we see a fair number of older people. There really isn't I don't have good percentage data for you for this conversation today, but the volume, we have recognized the need for access for youth, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to work at the Boys and Girls Club, because that's a way to open the door to getting behavioral health information into a setting that needs it. And we've been trying to do that for the last year. So if you look at it from the standpoint of opportunity to serve kids, we've created more opportunities by getting our interns and our volunteers and our staff into a setting like the Boys and Girls Club to try to deal with that. We consistently refer out when we feel that a case is beyond our capability. And some cases, especially significant justice involved DCFS cases, are sometimes beyond our scope. But we've served many clients who've had court orders and DCFS cases and those kinds of things over the years. It just depends on what makes the most sense and the resources we have available to us at the time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
We'd love to have more youth capable counselors. We'd love to have the funding to be able to do that. And that's the journey all along.
But I love your incredibly creative approach with Boys and Girls Club. What a great way to embed and create it kind of as a prevention, early intervention piece. And do you do that with pretty much everyone that attends there, or is that
we're focused on the junior high and high school clubs is where we are at. It's not an easy effort. It's quite complicated, and but it's something that we've been trying to do. we hope we'll be able to continue doing that long term.
We had a question from Selena Pappas with Central Illinois Friends.
Sure.
Hi. So you mentioned volunteer opportunities. So you mentioned like part of that being like data entry. Do you have things like that that could possibly be done remote? I have a few volunteers who've come to my organization who are looking to do like court mandated hours, but have some like transportation issues.
That's an interesting question. We tip most of our data entry issues would probably be would require some on-site activity. That would be a little difficult, but something to think about. I mean, maybe we should exchange some information. You could send me an email and we could maybe chat about it. Maybe we could invent a way. We have done court supervision projects over the years for resources like that, done data entry with court-ordered people. We've done that in the past. But we basically have tried to invent ways to make things happen for people within our framework, whatever way we could. There may be a possibility, but it may not work out. But I'd be happy to chat about it.
Absolutely. I will send you an email. Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you very much.
Don, do you want
Yes.
to drop your contact information in the chat for people?
I surely can.
All right, thanks.
One other thing I wanted to mention while we're chatting away here, let's see. I'm gonna stop sharing. Let's see. There's the chat. And I'll put my chat. Sorry, pardon me while I type.
Oh,
There
you're
we go.
fine.
No, there we go. DJ Mahana at integrityhelps.org. One of the things I wanted to mention is that we have worked over the years to actually also counsel in language. We have used translator facilitated and Spanish language counselors over the years. All of our forms are in Spanish and we're able to work in that environment. We're doing it today. That's another area where I think the community needs more resources that can work in that arrangement. That was one of the opportunities that we were working with John M. Scott to try to get that funded this year. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But we believe that Spanish language counseling is something that this community needs, especially in this income stream. As I'm sure you all know.
Thank you, Don, for presenting on that for integrity counseling. As you know, being a volunteer for the past 2 years, it's a cause that's near and dear to my heart. And it's been great to see the work that integrity has done over the past 10 years in the community. So
Thank you
again,
very much.
I know we recognized you in Luella 2 weeks ago, but again, thank you to both of you for what you do. I'm sure all of us here in Human Services know there's not enough people for doing the work we need done. So
right. Well, one of the things that we've done over the years that I would also suggest is that integrity has taken ideas from others and then tried to implement them. So if you see a gap in the community that maybe might be able to be done in a volunteer environment, that's something we've tried to take on a number of times. We had a local church called us with a concern about youth exposure to violence and dealing with the feelings coming back from COVID. And we put together a class built around Disney's Inside Out and took that and did 6 sessions with kids while we talked to their parents at that church. So those are the kinds of things that we've tried to do over the years. Find a need, find the people who are willing to help, and then go do it. So thank you for your time.
all right, if nobody has any more questions, we'll go ahead and get back up to some ROSC updates. We've got Barb. Do you want to take that away?
Sure. And yeah, thank you, Don, for everything you do. It's incredible, so it would be great for people to try to look for those gaps, like here to set that up, just everybody you have that in the back of your mind, start thinking about that. That's awesome. So, okay, I am just going to go right into our ROSC updates. As you know, we've been talking about in our past meetings, we're really trying to focus on
I think we lost Barb. Kat, do you mind taking it away?
I think so too. Part of our team is in a conference, so we're having a fun time today. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take over. Oh wait, do we have Barb back?
Wait, oh, did I go away? I'm sorry. I've just been
Yeah.
chatting away.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Are you ready to go with this?
Yeah, I don't know where I left off, but I was
Outreach bags, rural
Okay.
community outreach.
Yep, we're doing a total of 200 and we have them all ready to go, filled with goodies, resources, all kinds of resources, Narcan. So we are working on a plan to get those out to the rural communities. And then we also have some updates on sober social events. I don't know if Kat's gonna, you might go into more of that in
Yeah, I
but
can go
we
more into
recently
that.
had a movie showing of Generation Found. It's a documentary. Can you
Give
hear?
me just a sec. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, here we are. We had this movie showing of a documentary called Generation Found, and it focuses on youth, adolescents, teens, and it's all about like a recovery high school that is in Houston, Texas. And so it follows some kids, and it is very, very good and informative. Anyway, we had that at ISU with is it Redbirds for Wellness now? Is that what they?
Redbirds for Recovery. That's ISU's collegiate recovery program.
Yeah, so we partnered with them and did a movie showing. We had some goodies, popcorn, treats from Garlic Press. They've donated. It was very, very nice. And then do we have another? Okay. And again, if anybody out there on this meeting has any rural McLean County outreach contacts for us, we would love if you'd be able to do any kind of introductions or just give us a shout out on our email, mcleancountyrosk@gmail.com. And if you have any ideas, any contacts in the rural part of McLean County, we would love that. So thank you.
All right, I can take over from here, Barb. So just doing some of the updates from our Sober Social Planning Committee. As Barb had mentioned, we've got some upcoming rural community sober social events we're doing. We're going to be doing those in Leroy over at their Living Well United Senior Center. We will be doing 2 different dates, Thursday, May 9th, and that's geared more towards seniors. And then we're going to have one Friday, June 7th, and that's going to be more of a family-oriented event. And with those, we're doing creative painting events where we'll have instructions set up actually by a partnership with Illinois Art Station. And then we're going to have just little treats and whatnot of coffee and pastries for the seniors. And we're going to be getting donations of cookies for the family event. One of our next upcoming events in May is we are going to have a table at the McLean County Reentry Council Reentry Resource Fair. That will be Saturday, May 4th. They already have their flyer out and about on Facebook. We'll be sure to send the information to the council. With that, we're going to have some fun, family-oriented fun. We're going to have prizes. You can come spin a wheel and get maybe a gift card, maybe some passes for things like the little art school or like the Children's Discovery Museum, and other prizes we'll have. Our next event that will be in May is going to be a partnership with the Eastview Community Center, and we're doing another film screening of Generation Found on Thursday, May 23rd from 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a fun time. And that event will be completely free. And then once come June, we will again be holding our Grady's 4th annual Family Fun Night on of a main date as Friday, June 21st. And if that gets rained out, we have a rain out date of Friday, June 28th. And if you are interested in getting involved with what we're doing with the planning committee, we are currently meeting the first Tuesday of the month for an hour from about 11 a.m. to noon to plan out upcoming events and initiatives. If you are interested, you can go ahead and shoot me an email. My email is there on the slide. And then as we're closing out our fiscal year, we have for June openings for community resource spotlights. These spotlights range in time for about 10 to 15 minutes per community resource spotlight. And you are able to utilize your own presentation slides like Dawn did if you want to share a document on your screen, or you can send that information to us so we can facilitate that during the meeting. If you're interested, you can reach out to our team via our Gmail account with McLean County ROSC at gmail.com. So now we're just going to open the floor to, does anybody have any updates for your organization or agency, or are there any resources or upcoming events you would like to share about? Floor is open to anybody. And I will do a quick note just from what Carrie put in the chat. More information on all those events we're working on will be sent along to the council once they're developed. And Michelle has been kind enough to go ahead and send a link in the chat to the reentry fair flyer. Michelle, do you know if they're accepting any more resource tables at all?
We would love to. It's going to be a good turnout. I think we have right now about 15 tables. And so anything, contact Kara Alt. She's the one that's coordinating that at the Labyrinth House. So.
I'll quickly hop on. Hi everyone. Drug Take Back Day. There's 2 every year. Drug Take Back Day is this month on the 27th. So if you have any medications that are expired or you're not using, or if you know of anyone who does, April 27th is the day to go to your local police department and dispose of those safely. If anyone is looking for safe disposal resources, including like at-home kits to dispose of medication for any groups of people who may not be able to go out and the community, if you're looking for some for yourself or for your organization, or need any other like safe disposal resources. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I sent your link and not my own because I shared it with our marketing girl. So hold on and let me send the proper link.
I love
it. But if you need anything around safe disposal, I'm about to send a link in our chat and you can place an order through here. Everything is always free. And if you need any posters for an event near you or need anything else, please just let me know.
And we got a wonderful shipment of supplies we're actually going to be putting in our outreach bags. And I will go ahead and if you guys have any digital information you'd like us to share in some of those outreach bags, flyers, or whatnot, we are more than happy to print them out and put them in those resource bags. Well, if there aren't any more updates, we can continue along. I'll make the offer just once again. I know it's a little bit of a dreary afternoon. We've got wonderful rain and wind going on outside.
I will go ahead and give you a couple of dates. We're doing Dia for Dia de los Niños with the Hispanic groups and both libraries are joining in at Illinois Art Station to do programming there. And it should be fun. The reentry picnic also. And there are some senior events coming up. There's one called Be Content Expo that'll be at the Park Hotel on May 7th. So
If you can drop those in the chat, Michelle, or if you can email those to us, that would be great.
okay.
Awesome possum.
Thank you.
All right. So as per usual, you can reach out to any of our team via our emails for work, or our general email is the McLean County ROSC at gmail.com. And then we look forward to seeing you guys for our next meeting, which will not be today. That should be, I think it is May 20th. Let me double check that real quick. Pull up my calendar real quick.
It's the 21st, Kat.
Thank you. I wasn't sure. I had something else going on the 20th. I knew it was right by there. So yes, disregard what we have on here. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, May 21st at 3:30, and we look forward to seeing everybody there. So we'll go ahead and give everybody back a little bit of your time, about 15 minutes. So thank you everybody for attending today. And thank you, Dawn, for sharing about integrity. It's a great resource for the community, and a big part of knowing about resources is you only know what you know. So anytime we have a chance to promote integrity, or honestly any other community resource, the ROSC team really wants to take the opportunity to do that. So we'll see everybody back in May. So have a good rest of your afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.